Alrighty, good morning everyone and welcome. I am looking forward to our wonderful 45 minutes together and I hope you've had a great week. I'm going to go ahead and start with our emotional and stress release. So this first one is going to be for fear paralysis. You can just visualize someone you can have anybody help you with this that you trust, but just you can visualize someone safe, or you can visualize me standing at your feet if you wish, or just imagine the assistance of whatever you would call your higher power in enabling this. And just imagining that energy is able to leave the bottom of your feet at the K1 point, and it is able to just come down the end of that K1 point and head straight to the ground through to the center of the earth. And you can assist this if you wish by imagining a golden grounding cord from your tailbone down to the center of the earth, and just have two ways of discharging any excess energy and bringing up fresh energy. And you don't have to do anything at this point if you don't wish. I'm doing it for the group. When we go through our days and we're confronted by other people's inability to remain calm, it can shock us. And we just have to keep going. So what we do in the moment is to just ground as best we can. And often that just means shutting down. That's the natural thing, is to just shut down and go into fear paralysis. And you might look like you're moving through your day, but you might find that you're really stuck and slow, that you feel connected to a lot of brain fog rather than clarity, and that you struggle to make yourself do anything. And these are all signs that fear paralysis has been activated. It's actually a primary reflex for a reaction. It helps us to feel less pain if we're about to be eaten. Actually, that's what it's intended for. If we're about to be attacked, that it dampens the pain of that. And we don't want to be in that. We want to be in our higher brain areas, in the cortex, in the prefrontal cortex. Those are the areas that are designed to have ideal connection with all the time until we need that fight or flight or freeze response. I'm just waiting for the two hemispheres to come into balance. That field is a little skittery today. Very good. Take a deep breath in and let that go. Alrighty, moving straight on, we are going to the emotional stress release points, and remembering that you can help yourself during the day anytime by taking your fingers like so and taking the right hand and placing it about a ½ inch below the end of your collarbones, and the left hand goes up on your forehead about an inch above the eyebrows. And then just feel the sensations that come up in your body. And the more you practice it, the more you'll know that when you put your hands there and you give your body permission to send you feelings, the feelings will come. It may take a while, but they will come. But when you remove your fingers, you will notice that your body understands, oh, it doesn't have to just keep pushing emotion at you all the time in an effort to learn, because you're paying attention to your body and you're letting it express itself. It's good to give your body time every day to do that. But if you can't, at least once a week to do a check-in is really imperative. And again, I'm just feeling for that energy to balance out between the two halves of the field. Our left hemisphere and right hemisphere is sending out a different vibration based on what we've experienced. And the left hemisphere is very much about the doing, the surviving, being in the moment, and trying to get everything done that needs doing. And that is the one that's connecting to the past experience and the future experience, and a lot of worry. A lot of the, oh, am I going to make it? Oh, how's the day going to unfold, etc. Whereas that right hemisphere exists in the cacophony of everything all at once, but it doesn't judge anything, so it's at peace. Again, I'm just waiting for that balance to happen. Great. Take a deep breath in and just give a huge sigh out. And if you need any clarity on this, because after all, I'm just an energy healer, you can actually have a neuroscientist give you her opinion about it. Her name is Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, and you can look up her TED Talk called My Stroke of Insight, where she talks about the left brain experience and the right brain experience. I highly recommend it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is Bun meditation. For those of you who haven't experienced it before, who are watching the recording, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick overview. We are imagining this orange line that comes underneath our skull and about an inch in front of our spine. And it comes all the way down to the bottom of our tailbone, and then up 3 finger widths below the belly button. They call that the junction. And we are going to imagine that we take a deep breath in, and you don't have to do it now, but just imagining that we're sending it down to the junction. And then we hold the breath, but we imagine the energy is heading up to the crown chakra. And when we release the breath, the energy is purple smoke heading upwards. And we're going to do one for each of the chakras. And we only do 5 of them in this. 5 of them in this style. There's an outer salon that does more, but it is very strange looking, and you can't use it in the moment if something comes up where you're trying to keep your stuff together in public. So that's why I teach the inner salon, which is also called the secret salon. So with these different chakras, we are imagining the energy of them going 360 degrees around in a circle along this plane, at the throat, and then at the heart, and then at the solar plexus. You could think of that as the stomach, and then as at the first chakra. And that energy will go down though, that last one. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Start to bring it down, but then take another sip and continuing it on down to the junction. And then when you're ready, the energy can head back up here and release when you're ready. The idea is to just engage your breath for long enough, holding it, that you're comfortable still. If you start to feel your heart racing or you start to see spots, you've done it for too long, so don't do that. No es bueno. Alrighty, take another deep breath in, and then a second, continuing down to that junction. And then this time we're going to send the energy to the throat chakra, a beautiful blue color. And whenever you're ready, it gets released 360 degrees all around. It's blue smoke. And then just breathing normally in between. And hopefully you're noticing that a sense of calm is starting to land in your body. As we do this progressively, I find that it increases the calm from chakra to chakra. So go ahead and take a deep breath in, sending the energy to the junction and remembering that second breath to top it off. And then the energy comes and waits at the heart for as long as is comfortable, and then releasing on that plane 360 degrees all around. Whenever you've breathed out, just relax and just breathe normally until the next one. And now we're going to take another deep breath in, sending the energy to the junction and that breath, and then holding the breath, but the energy is now going to go to the fourth chakra, that yellow solar plexus. And when you're ready to release that, 360 degrees all around, yellow smoke. Just breathing normally as you've released your breath. Alrighty, last one. Taking a deep breath in, energy heading down, continuing the second breath in, rule to the junction, and energy sits here at the first chakra until you're ready to release your breath, and the energy is red smoke straight downward. Great. And just remembering that in the moment, if you need to calm down while you're talking to somebody, that this works even if you take the tiniest of breaths with intention. So you don't have to do something like this. In public, you can do super simple, right? And even the first three is enough to really divert disaster. But the more chakras you get online, the better. Alrighty, so now we have our little repeating information about why I do what I do, how you can help your child mind help you. And I just had a little note that I wanted to read too, so I'm going to get that geared up. So our child mind is, I like to think of it as a hero. But the problem is that it was given operating system instructions without anybody providing real input about what would be optimal for us. And so imagine if you're, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and up years old, that your operating system might benefit from an update. This child mind would do better to have new data, right? Rather than old data from when we were, the strongest information comes up until the age of 7 because the conscious mind isn't even forming yet. And but everything that happens up to the age of 18 really has a profound effect on us for the rest of our lives. Increases the odds of lots of negative things happening to us in terms of the standard stress level we operate under. And it also can impact things like weight gain, drug and alcohol use, and job absenteeism, school absenteeism. And again, that's because it was kind of left to its own devices. So it's trying to follow all the rules that would increase your odds of survival according to the rules that it developed on its own as a way to survive the traumatic childhood. So given the fact that it's tirelessly working to save our butts every day, I think it deserves to be called a hero. But like I said, old operating system rules. And so it makes a lot of mistakes that really are working against our best interests. So we want to try to help it out. And so I'm just going to go back and say also that setting a conscious goal, every day we set a conscious goal. I'm going to get up, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to have breakfast. That could stress out some people's child mind. Some people are so wounded and struggling that it's an effort. They're dealing with depression, postpartum depression. They're having a hard time even getting those simple things done. And again, it has to do with the level of trauma as well as um, the genetic inheritance of what's going on in terms of brain development and whether it can handle stress. And again, that's something that, you know, if one is born with being more highly sensitive, often what that means is that people like that don't absorb B vitamins properly, and so they run through their adrenals and they're running ragged. So giving everybody some grace for the genetic uh, tough hand that they've been dealt, just realizing that they could be they could be reacting so much because they're not able to balance their stress out. And again, you know, levels dealing with levels of trauma that aren't obvious once they're not children anymore, right? Because we all learn how to cloak and hide all this stuff. So when we set that goal, a conscious mind goal, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to write a book. We're stressing that child mind out, particularly if we're traumatized. So it's saying, oh my gosh, we can't possibly divulge what happened in our lives. Say if we're writing a memoir, it's too dangerous. People will get angry. Or even if we're writing fiction, people will assume that these are people from our childhood or something like that. So it's trying to put up roadblocks for every goal that we come up with, because it doesn't. I mean, ultimately, when we're so wounded as children, the child always thinks that it's responsible. You know, 99% of the time, the child thinks that if only it hadn't done fill in the blank, that, you know, mommy and daddy would have stayed together, or, you know, they would somebody wouldn't have been mad at me, or I wouldn't have gotten hit. Um, and that's a survival tactic, to assume blame, to keep us small and not pushing too much, so that you know, we're a mouth that continues to get fed in a famine. So setting that goal is going to stress out our inner children. Even wanting to be more calm, to not be stressed all the time, is going to activate the stress in that inner child, because it thinks that we are more likely to survive if we are stressed. So let's try and work on reducing the stress that the child mind feels, so that we reduce the stress that we as a conscious mind feel in the body. So by reading the goal, it will activate the stress of inner children that think it's not allowed, and then we'll go ahead and clear it. So let me just read it. I am healed in body, speech, and mind. I am comfortable in my body. I allow my body and mind to learn from and let go of old stress and trauma. I am allowed to feel calm. It is safe for me to feel calm and peaceful in my body. I sleep deeply through the night, knowing that everything always turns out marvelously well. My negative core beliefs are healed. My relationships are easy and peaceful. I stay calm throughout my day, even when provoked. My higher power supports me fully in this. I deeply love all of my inner children who are stressed and traumatized and who keep me from feeling calm and peaceful. I invite them home to my heart. I am purposeful and prosperous. My resources are generous and I share them with others. My parents and siblings want this for me. My extended family and friends want this for me. Society wants this for me. So, all of those internalized beliefs of being unworthy that we have so many layers of are going to be activated by this goal. And it's something that you'll feel better after we deal with it. So, then the next thing I want to talk about is the upper limit problem. Dr. Gay Hendricks has written a book called The Big Leap, which I highly recommend. And he talks about an upper and lower band. We're allowed, most of us allowed to be competent or even good, and some of us even excellent at what we do. But we've learned time and time again that if we act as if we're special in any way, we're going to get shunned by some form of friends, peers, teachers, family are going to feel less than, and they will let us know that we've overstepped and that our heads are getting too big. And it usually happens in some way that we get very hurt by it. And that's that wounded inner child that is struggling to allow anything that would be special, that would set us apart from the crowd, to be engaged with. So we want to give it a chance to learn the feelings associated with these kinds of events and let them be integrated into our heart, which is the home of all integrated emotional experience. That gets written on the walls of our heart and neurons that are located there. So we want to let that happen for us. Let's see. So these sessions are a shortcut to emotional learning. I will go through and check things out and just make sure that I will tell you what feelings the body wants to learn, and you can let a drop of them come into your body if you're afraid of emotions, which I certainly was. And if you're not afraid to let in 2 drops, go ahead, or 10 drops, whatever feels comfortable for you. And for people who are advanced in this, we just imagine that it's a spring cleaning and we just allow the body to send in what's there, because we know that emotions are a type of neurochemical that are inflammatory in quantity, and inflammation can lead to disease. So that's the benefit of doing this work too, is that we are reducing the storehouse in the body. It's understandable that we've not known this, and so we've let these things accumulate, but bit by bit, as you feel more comfortable, do try to add in an extra drop or 2 each time if it feels right, and you'll know when you're ready. The child mind is so powerful that it's calling events in your life over and over again, trying to find the opportunity to learn. And what I've found is like the second that something negative starts to happen that has any resonance with something in the past, I will think, oh, wow, I can see that I've called that in multiple times and I don't think I've learned that lesson. So, or it's time to learn a deeper layer of that lesson. So I test and I hold points and I let things go through and really get learned and integrated. And I find that generally speaking, the lessons that come my way they tend to be more bearable and easier to deal with because my child mind is more educated at this point. It doesn't go into a negative automatic program as quickly as it used to by far. And always give your child mind a positive destination. I say everything always turns out marvelously well. Because when we worry as the conscious mind, which our goal should be to be the positive parent, we are actually terrifying the inner children within us. These little 1, 2, 3, 4-year old little ones, little versions of us, they're in charge of our immune system. They're in charge of all aspects of our autonomic nervous system, I should say. And would you want to worry someone in a position like that? To me, it's so important not to worry them, right? They're too young for the information. You wouldn't tell a 3-year-old, oh, honey, you've got cancer. I don't know if you're going to make it. You wouldn't want to tell a 5-year-old, you've got a really bad cold and I don't know if you're going to make it. So don't do that to yourself. Everything always turns out marvelously well. Okay? So, last thing is to just say to you, remember that the negative core beliefs that you have about yourself were developed in an experience of some trauma, at least some trauma, right? And so you had to believe that they were true about you to survive your environment. It doesn't mean that you're really that way. And even if you aren't perfect, guess what? There has never been a human being born on this planet who hasn't had some kind of misunderstanding, mistake, corrections that they've had to make, learning that they haven't had to do. That's just how we operate. Alrighty? Alrighty, so emotional clearing is next. Alrighty, so I'm just looking that up. We've got an emotion. Unsupported. Ancestral feeling of being unsupported. So giving your body permission, you can get comfortable, close your eyes if you wish. I always like to do that and tune in. Anything happening from head to toe, is this emotion being learned in your body? And some people don't sense anything, but other people might feel hot or cold, numbness, tingling, pressure, ease, movement, discomfort. As fascia rearranges itself and a nerve might get some extra blood flow that it wasn't getting before. And they always stop squawking. They're always happier to be awake, but the waking up process can be a little uncomfortable. And if you have had enough of that feeling, you can send it love. You can tap out and just stay calm and in a safe place, imagining that. And when you're ready, you can take a deep breath in and let that go. Great. Alrighty, so all right, we've got another one. okay, this is a feeling of allotted. Um, Sometimes we have a sense that there's a limit to what's allowed in this life. This is a soul emotion. Um, so we can have a sense that we're only allowed a certain amount, we're only allowed a limited amount, like the pie is a certain size and it's divided by all of humanity. But when it comes to energy work and clearing, what comes up is really that the pie is unlimited. There's enough energy for all who need it to have an unlimited supply. It's trying to tap into the infinite. And so just imagining that you can release what's not serving you here, this block, this feeling, sending it love, feeling that drop if that's what you're comfortable with, or feeling more. That feeling of allotment, that the pie is only so much, and who are you to want more? And instead realizing, no, your higher power wants you to have everything, to learn and grow in this lifetime to the maximum that you are able and that you are worthy. Taking a deep breath in and let that go. Great. Well, there's a lot of energy running through that one, let me tell you. I think that's the biggest thing for us to learn, is that when tapping into, let's call it heaven's pie, it's not, there's not ever not going to be a ginormous slice for you. There's another feeling. All right, let me look that one up. Struggling to navigate and avoid the perils of life. So this is also a soul level emotion. Just sending that love. Giving your body permission to send you a drop, or however much. And noticing all the sensations that happen from head to toe. And take a deep breath in and let that go. Great. Okay, so now just asking for energy to be sent. Chakra 7.9. So just about an inch above the top of the head. Imagining that universal energy is being sent there, which is going to reset any stress points and any shock, any chakra interaction that's not optimal. The child mind can shut down energy to the chakras, and they do it in all sorts of different ways that I've encountered. They can be flipped, they can be stuck, they can be shredded. We're just having the chakras worked on at this time with energy to help them get restored. Very good. Alrighty, so now integrating inner children. 6,000 today from birth to the present day. So just noticing how that is playing out in your body, maybe some excitement at the thought of little ones coming home to your heart. Maybe your body's feeling a little worried about that. Anything is fine. If it doesn't feel comfortable to engage with this, you might not be ready yet. So just know that you're going to be heading there. And I leave it to you to go into a beautiful, safe place if you are in need of that. And then the other thing to let you know is if you need more time than what I'm calling for here, that you can go to the fourth oldest group stress video. It's one that's 49 minutes and 55 seconds long. And at minute 35 and 21 seconds, you'll find a very nice, slowly and well explained version. So be sure to look at that if you don't get enough time to process everything in this session today. So go ahead and just get comfortable and really drop into your body, feeling the weight as you're sitting or standing, however you're positioned right now, and just connecting in, imagining these little ones in a beautiful, safe place with the older ones taking care of the younger ones. Imagine that you can walk up to them and say hello, either out loud or in your head. Tell them, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were here all alone. I came as soon as I heard. I'm you, all grown up. We've survived and we've thrived. Your home is in my heart. Come home to my heart. And show them about a half a dozen pictures of you between the ages of birth and the present day. And now ask them if they're willing to come home to your heart. And if they're ready, you can go ahead and join me for the rest of this. And if not, then look up that video. Taking a deep breath in. Great. And as you are connecting with these little ones, you can let go of that breath whenever you're ready. As you're connecting to them, asking them to shrink down to the size of a pixie or to points of light, whichever you prefer. Letting them start to head home to your heart. You'll feel your fascial train potentially, although some people feel nothing, it's fine. But if you do feel shimmering or vibration, this is your fascial train activating to let these little ones go so they can make their way, their journey to your heart, which should have happened at the time and has just been delayed. You, as the good parent that you wished that you had had that could have guided you this way, are there to welcome them home to your heart. Alrighty, taking a deep breath in and sending out a buttery yellow light of self-compassion to every cell in your body. And when you're ready, taking another deep breath in. And when you're ready, sending love and gratitude to every layer of you that cooperated here today. Great. Alrighty, so let's just see where we're at. Removing negative energies. Let's go ahead. I'll be quiet for a moment during this. Great. Okay, that's good. Lastly, gratitude to yourself for showing up, to your subconscious, your child mind for working with you, for your higher power for always being there for you. Gratitude confirms that you like the direction you're going in. Alrighty. So if anyone would like to say anything, I just want to remind people that this kind of information is available on my Instagram, which is on Instagram at Elizabeth Morse Writer. And if you want to buy a book, it's available in my health book, Your Best Health by Friday, which is available on Amazon. You can find the link on my website at the bottom. Well, actually, there's a spot that says get the book, a page that says get the book, so you can get it there if you're interested. Alrighty, did anybody want to comment? You're welcome um, to turn your cameras on, up to you. So I'm seeing a message about next Wednesday. Yes, there will be a meeting if you want to attend. I look forward to seeing you then. Lisa, did you want to say something? Okay, you're unmuted.
Okay. Because I kept getting the host is not allowing you.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I can hear you, and you're welcome
I'm
to speak.
unmuted now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really, really amazing session today. I I have to say that particularly the emotional clearing was profound for me. It brought up a lot. I mean, emotion just really welled, and it was. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I used to be so afraid of feelings, and I think a lot of people are for a lot of reasons. You know, maybe guys even might be the most afraid because they have so much to lose to show anything that isn't, you know, like the only thing that they are is anger, and you know they can be happy but not too happy, you know. But all of us are just really stuck in this cycle of not wanting to go anywhere near it. And the hard part is that, you know, to get people over that barrier into realizing that it can be productive and it can be so brief, you know, 45 minutes. And you're probably noticing that most of the week is going pretty well now, right? In between sessions, you can hold it together longer and longer.
Well, and also having tools to come back to that I can revisit during the week.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's holding points or releasing the negative energy, or just even quieting my breathing. That
Yeah,
that alone can just be so helpful.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay, glad to
Well,
hear it.
yeah. So I don't know, did you answer, are you going to be doing a session next week?
Yep,
Okay.
I'll be here. Yeah, my plan is rain or shine, holiday or non. I imagine we'll be a much smaller group like we were today, but holidays can be really the hardest times of the year.
Yes, a lot can come up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll be here helping us fight the good fight.
Well, I am going to say goodbye. Um, but I am so grateful. Thank you, Liz.
A pleasure. Bye bye.
Mhm.
Bye, Sabrina. Bye, Miss Rachel.